Think a penny's worthless? Think again. One tiny coin could be hiding in your pocket, worth thousands, even millions. The Lincoln Shield cent isn't just spare change. It might be your hidden treasure. Here's what you need to know. The penny. Small, copper-toned, and often overlooked, yet it holds within it over a century of American legacy. Among these humble coins, the Lincoln Shield 1 cent, introduced in 2010, represents more than mere change in your pocket. It symbolizes continuity, heritage, and for some, unimaginable value. Yes, some Lincoln Shield pennies, worth just a cent, have been sold for thousands, even millions under special circumstances. This is the story of the Lincoln Shield 1 cent, its roots, controversies, valuable variants, and why you might want to check your spare change more carefully. To understand the Lincoln Shield 1 cent, we must go back to the coin's origin. The Lincoln cent debuted in 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. It was designed by Victor David Brenner under the direction of President Theodore Roosevelt to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It was a historical moment, the first time a real person, let alone a president, was honored on a U.S. coin. For decades, Lincoln's profile remained unchanged on the obverse, front, with various reverse-back designs marking different eras. The Wheat Ears reverse, 1909198, the Lincoln Memorial, 195920008, and then finally the Shield reverse introduced in 2010. Why the Shield? The Lincoln Shield design was created to symbolize Lincoln's preservation of the Union during the Civil War. The reverse features a Union shield with 13 vertical stripes representing the original colonies, bound together under a single horizontal bar, an emblem of federal unity. The center bears a simple, powerful inscription, 1 cent. The design is both minimalistic and symbolic, reflecting the strength and resilience of the United States through one of its darkest times. But the story of the Lincoln Shield 1 cent doesn't end with its symbolism. There has been recent controversy and buzz about its future. In recent years, there has been talk about the suspension or elimination of the penny altogether, including the Shield cent. The reason? Economics. It costs more than a cent to make a penny. According to reports from the U.S. Mint, each penny costs around 2.1 cents to produce. That means the government loses millions each year just by minting them. Critics argue that the penny is obsolete in an era of digital transactions and that rounding to the nearest 5 cents would save money. Canada, Australia, and other countries have already phased out their lowest denomination coins with little issue. In 2023 and 2024, rumors circulated online that the U.S. Mint would suspend the production of the Lincoln Shield penny by 2025. Although the Mint has not officially confirmed such a move, internal discussions and budget concerns have led many experts to believe that the days of the Lincoln Shield 1 cent are numbered. This potential suspension has fueled interest in these coins, with collectors and everyday Americans suddenly checking their pennies for rare variants, errors, or early minting signs that might make them valuable in the future. And that brings us to what makes some of these coins so unbelievably valuable. Most Shield cents are worth just their face value, but certain era coins, proofs, and special minting runs have fetched small fortunes. For example, off-center strikes, double dies, and coins with unusual planchet errors can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In 2021, a 2014 D Shield penny with a dramatic mint error sold at auction for over $3,500.00. But the most astonishing finds are coins with ultra-rare characteristics, such as those struck on the wrong metal or planchet, coins that shouldn't exist but somehow slipped past the Mint's quality control. A particularly famous case involves a 2010 Shield cent that was mistakenly struck on a copper planchet instead of the standard zinc-coated core. Since all post-1982 pennies were supposed to be made of copper-plated zinc, this anomaly suggested that a leftover copper blank had been used. That coin was later authenticated and sold for $12,000.00. That's a 1-cent coin fetching 5 figures, simply because of a mistake. But what about the million-dollar pennies? Do they exist? Yes. Though not exactly from the Shield series, they contribute to the allure surrounding Lincoln cents in general. The most well-known example is the 1943 bronze cent, which shouldn't have been minted at all during a year when pennies were supposed to be made of steel to save copper for wartime efforts. Only a few of these bronze 1943 cents are known to exist. One sold for over $1,700,000, 0 cents. While these belong to earlier Lincoln cent series, they highlight the potential hidden within this small denomination. The Shield cent, being newer, hasn't yet had time to accumulate such astronomical valuations. But if the series is suspended, rarity will inevitably drive prices up in the future. What makes this topic even more fascinating is the sociological and emotional connection Americans have with the penny. From a penny for your thoughts to find a penny, pick it up, the coin is deeply embedded in American culture. It's been pressed into good luck souvenirs, left on soldiers' graves, and tossed into fountains for wishes. Removing it would not just be an economic decision, it would be an emotional and cultural one. Still, the practicality of a cashless society looms large, and the penny, especially the Lincoln Shield cent, may soon become a relic. That's why now, more than ever, collectors are hoarding pennies, checking dates, and searching for error coins. For many, it's not just about potential profit, it's about preserving a piece of history, a symbol of Abraham Lincoln's enduring legacy, and a tangible connection to American values. Here are some fascinating facts about the Lincoln Shield 1 cent that most people don't know. The shield design was created by Lyndall Bass, with sculpting by Joseph Mena of the U.S. Mint. All Shield pennies since 2010 have been minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, though only collector sets include the S-Mint mark. Special proof versions of the Shield cent are struck with extra care and mirror-like finishes, often fetching higher collector prices. Some pennies minted in early 2010 have been found with subtle differences in design or composition. These are particularly sought after by collectors.